Hello and welcome back. We're immediately jumping right back into things here. I'm going to basically record a couple of these and set them to premiere over the weekend. This is our Japanese 1890 campaign playthrough, The Rise of the Dragon. When we left off last, we had just designed a new destroyer. We have the Akis being built. They're not going to be ready for another about a little bit less than 3 years. We'll see what sort of new technologies and everything else that pops up between now and then to make them obsolete. So let's go ahead and just continue on. Next turn, we should get the option to build up our destroyers. Here we go. So to build one of these things, it's going to cost us 263 per month. If we build 10 of them, that's 2,600. And I like to build in fours for destroyers, so that's 31. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with 8, and we'll see how that goes for now. It's going to take a year essentially to build these. And if we get any budget increases or changes between now and then, we can set up a new block of them to come out. Our tensions with France and Russia are still kind of warbling around there. We might get some options to lower the tensions with them. Are they allied? Russia's allied with Germany, and they have high tensions with the U.S., which is kind of odd. And the U.S. is on its own. The U.S. is one of the few nations that's actually, on its own. Okay. Sumatra, that's tempting, but we're not going to do that. Again, we have enough bases and we have oil. So that gives us a little bit of money to mess around with. So we're going to go ahead and build 4 more of these. Again, it puts us in a little bit of a deficit. So Great Britain and France are still buddy-buddy. Again, we're losing prestige for just letting our ally do whatever they want to do. That's kind of a weird thing. Here's the Oklahoma. So it's rocking just 4 12-inch guns. It's slower than us. It has about equal armor, but it has a nice battery of 8-inch secondaries. So that's pretty nice. I can see what they're going for there. We could have done something similar where we just put the two. Okay, we have a lot of reduction in tensions there, except for the ones we really want. Where we just put like the 2 bigger turrets on the thing and just a bunch of larger secondary guns, which I think we have unlocked where we can build uh, ships with like 8-inch and above secondaries. Nebraska. So this one here is a little bit of a different philosophy. It's similar to that British ship we looked at earlier with the wing turrets on it. Yeah, I mean, it's faster than us, about equal in armor, about equal in firepower. So, I mean, we're not outclassed right now, but we will be outnumbered no matter what. So if we went to war with any of these nations. So they are growing their dock sizes. We don't really have a reason to just yet. Like our Akis are not going to be done for another 2 years. And it's not like we're probably not going to build anything big between or after immediately afterwards. So lighter than air. I'm never a fan of lighter than air stuff. There it is. Germany and Russia at least. Yeah, let's go ahead and sell to them. And that'll probably crank our, oh boy, tension. Yep. We still want to avoid war with Russia if we can. I mean, honestly, if we had to go to war with them, the main thing we'd have to worry about are their battleships, which are probably kind of old. Like their new ones are pretty good. Well, they got pretty good tonnage, but their old ones are um, they're still running a lot from like the 1890s, early 1900s. So I mean, like the ones here that are all this whole fleet that's 15 knots, like those would get eaten up in a modern war. But these other ones that are 18 knots, these are probably they could probably hold their own. All right. Who knows? We might get the chance to sneak attack them, which is a good reason to keep building up more destroyers. Hmm. This actually could be a chance to lower tensions. Is it worth losing some of our budget? We have plenty of prestige. You know what? Let's just go ahead and maybe we'll get lucky and lower tensions with Russia a little bit. I don't mind them being in the yellow. It's just when they get to the high yellow. So damage control, that's good. Double torpedo mounts. There we go. That's nice. That's a nice level to have it at right there. And we're down 1,000 essentially on our monthly balance, which is, we're building up a bunch of little destroyers here, so that's fine. I really like when we start getting the multiple torpedo tube mounts. Um, let's waste a prestige for sure for an attempt to not raise tension. This guy's average. I mean, see, he's worth saving, I guess. So let's hope it doesn't raise tension with Russia. All right, cool. So we lost a prestige, but we avoided raising tensions with Russia. And if you think about it, I mean, yeah, losing a prestige is not great, but like there could be it could be 3 or 4 months before we get another tension event with Russia. So that buys time. It could be 6 months. It could be a year, and then it goes to 8, and then another several months before 9, and then we're not going to risk our technology ending up in the hands of enemies. We can get rid of our current destroyers now that the new ones are coming online. And if there comes a technology that unlocks like 1,000-ton destroyers, we might go for that and put the double torpedo mounts on there because those are way better than single torpedo mounts. They spread out a little bit, so you have a better chance of hitting. I'll go ahead and continue. The Hindenburg, largest battle cruiser in the world. They're producing battle cruisers. There's triple turrets. They're producing battle cruisers that are as big as our battleships. Yeah, there it is. Russia went down. China's going up. I mean, if China really wants a fight, I'd be okay with that. Like it'd be like a pretty lame war to go into. They have nothing that we can even capture. But if we sink a bunch of their stuff, we have a few chances to gain prestige, and then in the end, we can just demand a bunch of reparations from them and improve our economy in the long run. And that would also lower tensions. But China, I think like there's like a trigger built in where when a nation is a lot weaker than you are, no, we're not gonna raise tensions with Russia. Uh, hmm, Spain can handle their own troubles. Here we go. It's like a mini version of the dreadnoughts people are building. But I think there's like a little there's like a trigger built into the game where when a nation is much weaker than you are, the tensions will go down more often because I think they're like it says they like recognize that you're more powerful, they can't beat you. Is this enough destroyers? We're gonna have, let's see here, one division. So we're gonna have 4 divisions worth. That might not be enough. Let's build 4 more. 3 more battleships. How could we even manage that? We gain budget, prestige. We lose. I mean, we can't. We literally can't build anymore. Eeh. Um, yeah. I mean, taking the prestige hit hurts. The budget, whatever, it goes up and down. France. You know what? Do we appease France by lowering our budget? You know, we probably could. Yeah. We'll just kind of like we'll be nice. We'll play nice with them and hide our strength. It's like, oh no, please don't hurt us, France. But meanwhile, we're building these 3 modern battleships. We have a fleet of destroyers ready to go. It's the incomparable. I really do like the British names for their ships. Now that is a dangerous looking battle cruiser. Like it doesn't have armor at all, hardly 6.5 inches, but it's fast and it has a lot of firepower. That's a nice battle cruiser, except for the armor. Tensions are going up and down. Tension went up a little bit with Britain and went down a little bit with Russia. We've taken a few budget hits. Morocco, we don't care. Again, we're losing prestige, I guess, because we're expected to be a power, like a great naval power, and we're like, hey, don't be, doing whatever you want to do. But why would Japan care if, Britain is occupying Morocco or Spain is occupying, Austria-Hungary territories? This doesn't make sense. Let's continue our friendship with Italy. We could make an agreement with like the USA and hope that that causes tensions with Spain. Okay, well, we didn't get it either. We didn't get it anyway, so all right. Well, whatever. Secondary turrets for battleships. Tensions go up, tensions go down. See, Russia is back up to 8 now. That would be 9 if we hadn't spent that prestige earlier. And I want them to go down in case we get a chance to take North Korea. They still have a lot of battleships, like old pre-dreadnoughts. 29,000 tons, 28,000 tons for the shipyards. I guess we go for one more round for now. Okay. Russia goes up because we're resenting something, but it goes down due to random changes. That's okay. Let's see here. We don't really have to change any of our technology priorities right now. We seem pretty solid. And we can gain a prestige by putting some, Muppet in charge of the South Pacific. I think tension went up a little bit with China again. That's what we want. When tensions start going up with the major powers, we look for one of these weaker powers to go after. Yeah, I mean, we could even go to war. I think we could win a war with France right now. They're not allied with anyone. Oh, they are. They're allied with Britain, of course. Never mind. I mean, I guess 1910 is about that time. So, did we want to increase our base capacity down here? Let's go for it. Gives us a way to spend a little bit of money, and having more base capacity doesn't hurt, as far as I've seen. There might be some hidden way that it hurts you. So we'll go for explosive shells, gives us greater damage. And we're pretty much just waiting out our construction. The Fuso is falling way behind. Yeah, we can do some concessions with Russia. Doesn't cost us anything. And it buys us at least a few more months before we'd have to go to war with them. I do like this era. There's war between the US and Russia. Hmm. Is Russia allied with anyone? They are not. I do like this era where they're starting to swap over from pre-dreadnoughts to dreadnoughts. So like the number of ships that they're maintaining go down. And when it comes down to like a smaller navy versus a smaller navy, we have a lot better chance. Hmm. So we can get a little bit of tension for some budget, which is fine because we did fall behind on budget a few times there. Like we took some budget hits. Okay. Still not, we're not looking too bad here. Let's build 10. Uh, let's build 15 coastal subs. Those would help us in a war in the Northeast Pacific or Northeast Asia. That's probably the best result for us. We don't want to go into a disarmament treaty because that would limit our fleet size very severely. Japan is like the low man on the totem pole when it comes to that. Okay. Do we need to do any modernizations? No. We're getting rid of these battleships over time. Like the Yoshimas will probably go. We'll better get rid of at least a couple of them without hurting our prestige. The Osama 2s need to be replaced. We might just replace them with like battle cruisers. What can we, what's the limits of what we can do with heavy cruisers? I mean, those are gigantic. Jeez, that's way too big. Clear that. That doesn't help. We'll go with a 6-inch belt. The deck is way too thick. We'll go with 1 inch and 1.5 inch. That saves us a lot of weight. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll add forward center line and aft center line since we can't do superimposed. I mean, these are just so big, they're impractical. We might as well build battle cruisers at this rate. 9-inch guns. Let's see what a battle cruiser would look like. 13-inch guns. That is a strong battle cruiser, I tell you that. And these would cost about 500 more per month than those heavy cruisers would have, but I mean they're just so much better. 2-inch deck, 1-inch extended, 7.5-inch belt. Again, it's not having that belt armor really hurts if you get hit. But 13-inch guns, it's pretty good. We could go down to 12. It's a battle cruiser, and it's 1910, so 12-inch should still be able to punch through some stuff. That would save us some space, some weight. Or we just go with what we have here. Get rid of 1 set of secondaries to go with more ammunition. About 180 rounds of 6-inch. We could go with a few more tertiaries. I mean, this is competitive with our battleships that we're building. So we could build a pair of these probably. I mean, 2 of these would weigh as much as 2, 3, 4, well, almost as much as our entire cruiser fleet that we have now. Go down a little bit on the weight. And these would be good. These would last us a while, I think. Oh, hang on. What if we go with oil? That saves us some weight. Let's just take off some tonnage. Brings us down to 23,000 even. And we go take the conning tower down a little bit. That gives us a little bit of extra buoyancy for the weight remaining. 100 rounds per gun. We're rocking 13-inch guns. Those will put a pounding on basically anything out there. I want to name this the Congo, I think. Yeah, there we go. Congo battle cruiser. Yep, we're gonna build 2 of those and have some money left over to do something else. Maybe build new Corvettes or try to upgrade the ones we have. All right, so this here, let's see if we can retire these. We can. So these will go to 5th Division because they are getting to the point where they're pretty much obsolete. These will go to the 3rd Battle Division, Independent, and these will be the 1st Battle Division. I wonder how the war with the U.S. and Spain is going. Yeah, as we said before, these OI class, they're already becoming obsolete. They're only 24 knots, and the new generation of light cruisers are approaching 30, and they're carrying a bunch of mines and stuff as well, which is technology I don't think we have yet. Russia goes down. If we can juggle our tension to stay right around where it's at now, that's good for the budget. No. We lose a prestige, but we're not putting some loser in charge of our brand new battleships. Okay. Let's do two of these. And in 3 years, we'll have a couple of nice battle cruisers. So essentially, they're giving us a chance to trade out a an average wily poor admin for an average well-connected. I mean, the poor admin does hurt our budget. I'm not sure what wily does, but we'll lose wily, but we'll take less upkeep, and we get prestige for it. Like I'm not above kissing butt if it gets me some prestige. All right, and I think this is a good chance to stop it. We're currently pretty even on the budget. I thought we'd have a little bit more, but we must have spent it somehow. Eventually, this will here will be finished in 9 months, and the docks will be finished in a couple of months, so that'll give us some budget to play with next time. Anyway, if you're still hanging out with me, I greatly appreciate it, and be sure to sail safely out there.